Hi guys, and welcome to another random rambling. First of all, no, I told you I won't say it, but I haven't said I won't write it. So let's forget about that. So I have a few nice topics for today and actually a few questions for you because I really enjoy the interaction. So the first topic is the most disappointing device, and I'm not talking just about phones, but I'm pretty sure most of all you will name a phone and not maybe a tablet or something else, but I'm meaning in general device. I already did a poll or just reshared it actually asking about the most disappointing phone, and a lot of people actually were most disappointed with the HTC One M9. I guess they had higher expectations. Personally, for me, it wasn't the most disappointing device. Actually, for me, it is because disappointing means something different for everyone else, because the higher the expectations are, the more you can be disappointed. I didn't have high expectations for the M9, so I wasn't really disappointed. But for example, the S6, it has so many great capabilities and features and all that, but really bad battery life. So this is disappointing. So that's why it's my personal most disappointing device, at least phone. Since I'm mostly doing phones and tablets and so on, I'm not really sure what else to call right now. But let me know what is your most important or most disappointing device and why. Next topic, the Sony Xperia Z5 leaks. Yeah, what to talk about? They aren't exactly any more new today, but I still want to mention one thing that is really interesting is the side-mounted power button with the fingerprint reader. If that really works out nice, it should be the maybe best way, because on my last video when I asked for fingerprint readers, everyone said the one from the Sony, and I actually forgot to mention that because I was just talking about the one on the One Plus on the front and for example on the Nexus on the back. But yeah, the one on the side, if working properly, could be the best solution. That is nice. Otherwise, in terms of screen and performance, we really don't know what to say. There were rumors of an 820, which I don't think will happen because it's not coming out until early 2016. But an 810 would be definitely a deal breaker for me, because no 810. No, just no. Because it wouldn't be any upgrade. Next topic, Twitter versus Google Plus. What do you use and what for? I would really like to know more of you if you actually use Twitter, because I know most of my viewers or the inner circle use Google Plus, and that's where I do most of my sharing. But recently I started to use Twitter more and more, because that's where a lot of the YouTubers are, where I follow, like Kevin the Tech Ninja, Beginner's Tech, and all that guys. So this is an easy way to follow them and have some interaction, because none of them uses Google Plus, or at least not a lot. So I would like to know from you if you maybe use Twitter, and if so, also if you want to follow me, my handle is just Nimbuk. I did explain why it is Nimbuk on another video and I won't explain it again. The next topic, best third-party UI this year and why. And I'm not talking in general, because a lot of people always said Sense was very high up on their ranks and Motorola was very high up their ranks, which is never was for me, because Motorola is stock Android, which I personally find to be a great base, but as a stock whole alone OS, it is a little bit too boring and limited for me. With the additions of Motorola, it's nice, but still not giving me what I want from it. In terms of features, Samsung's UI gives me quite a good amount of great features, not too much bloat anymore, but as a whole it's not exactly what I want. Sense looked way too ice cream sandwich to me, especially the quick settings panel. So one of my first ones would be, in terms of looks, the Sony Xperia UI, because it looks quite stock but a little bit more fresh. It has a few enhancements but just not enough. That's why it's just my number 2. My number 1 though is, and that maybe sounds very odd, the LG UI. I think it's pretty much a perfect mix. Yes, it doesn't maybe look as nice if it would look like the Sony UI with the features of the LG UI. I would be super happy, but it doesn't. But what it does give me, it gives me the best customization. I get lock screen shortcuts. I get customizable quick settings with the brightness slider, volume slider and all. And I get a few nice other enhancements. On the higher end devices you also get dual window. On the lower end device you get a little bit less. But already that on the lower end models is way enough compelling for me. It looks good enough, and I would in the end use Nova Launcher to get a few things in the launcher back, because the launcher itself isn't interesting, but the capabilities and extra options are really, really nice. So that's why it's my number one. Let me know which one is yours and why. And of course, I'm not talking about custom ROMs here, only stock ROMs, because if it would be a stock ROM or custom ROM, then it would be again a stockish look with the features. But like I said, I don't like stock vanilla Android so much, just because it's too limited in terms of options. In terms of looks, it's absolutely fine. The next point would be a question to you, once again, because we already had to. Do you want more Windows related stuff? Because now that I'm using Windows also on my MacBook Pro and not just on my desktop, I can make more videos about Windows, because I couldn't before on my projector. It wasn't feasible, and I don't like so much making those screen captures. So if you want to see more Windows stuff, besides of course the Windows reviews, the devices that I review, let me know. I would just know, because I don't think it will be getting that much attention, because most of my viewers or the regulars aren't that interested in Windows, but still, let me know. So, to round it all up, the word of the day is handy. And actually, it means, the word is there in both English and German, but it has a completely different meaning. So, let's take the German word handy. Handy in German means nützlich, praktisch. So, yeah, that's what it means. But if you take it in German and say handy, everyone will think, because that's what it is, a cell phone, cellular phone, or a smartphone. That's what it is here. And why handy? Because that's actually a second word today. So you learn two words actually, even though it's actually three with the English word. Hand. Hand. The hand is called Hand in German. Yeah, not so surprising. But because you have the phone in your hand, handy. Yeah, that's this Englification of words we have, because there are a lot of words, because everyone in America says smartphone or cellular or cell phone, but no one says something like that. And from back in the old days with the old phones, it just was handy. So you have both. I forgot the word. Yeah, you know what it means in both terms right now. Also, you know what hand is, Hand. So you learned a lot. Oh man, this is getting out of hand. But I will continue the German word of the day. I will try to come up with a lot of different and interesting words, because there was enough feedback positive that wanted to have this, and I will maybe also get like quotes and something like that. But as long as I find interesting words, because all of the ones had like a double meaning or a more specific term that was just different to English, and this maybe gives you a kind of thing back. So, bye. Have a nice time. Until next time.